Hi everybody, welcome to Fallout 4 again, and we are in Concord. You've probably seen the title of the video. So we are at the Museum of Freedom, and let me show you something inside. Okay, we are inside. I have my HUD back on, and let's check out this mural over here. So we have this mural, which I guess goes through the kind of chronological order of warfare in America. So we have the Revolutionary War, World War II, and we have this. Now this caught my eye a long time ago, and I decided recently to kind of explore it more and possibly turn it into some kind of build. And we have this plaque over here. Let's go see what it reads. It says, "This mural commemorates the many sacrifices of the brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces, from Lexington to Concord to the shores of Iwo Jima, from the Sea of Tranquility to the Anchorage front line." So the part I want to look at is the Sea of Tranquility. Now, for those that aren't aware, the Sea of Tranquility is basically a landmark on the moon. And quite clearly, if we look over there, there is some kind of space moon thing happening over there. We have this guy with some sort of weapon, it looks like. We got rockets shooting off. I'm assuming that's the Earth, maybe, in the background there. And then we have these guys flying over. I think these are called stingrays. So this scene intrigued me a lot. And I went online to see if I can do a little bit of research, see if I can find more information on kind of what this means, if there's a backstory to it. And the only thing I could really find was basically just repeating what this thing says down here. So as far as I'm aware, this is kind of an open-ended lore. So you guys know I'm a builder and I like to inject stories into my builds. I'm going to take this kind of moon narrative and make something out of it. Okay, so I have transported myself to Lexington, and right here is going to be the start of our story at the Super Duper Mart. Now, a supermarket is a strange place for a moon battle, but bear with me, I will lay it all out in just a second. So I've cleared out the interior of the Mart for this. So I've created a movie backdrop inside the Super Duper Mart, and the idea is that there's going to be some fakery going on with this moon stuff. Kind of playing on the popular conspiracy that the moon landings were fake. We're going to take that angle and pretend that some of the moon battles, or all, were actually done on a movie set. So chronologically, it doesn't make sense that we're recreating the Battle of Tranquility because we already have a mural in the Museum of Freedom. But we're going to say that the moon battles were ongoing, maybe up until the end of the war itself. And for this example, it's kind of used as a propaganda tool to kind of tell the American public that they are kicking butt in all avenues of the war. But anyway, I've got a moon to build, so I will see you in one moment. Welcome back. We have a moon. Let's check it out. So initially I wanted to do kind of like full-size actors, but you know, 200 years after the bombs dropped, I didn't want to have just a bunch of corpses with spacesuits on. So the scene playing out in front of us is obviously two factions having a go at each other in front of a landing site. We have a lunar lander over here. It's kind of made up with miscellaneous greaves that I found, and you know, we've got a satellite dish there as well. And I added just sort of random bits around the place to make it look spacey. Everything is about 60% of the original size. I think it's 60%. So I decided to use, I guess, kind of like models, because obviously on a movie set, they use a mixture of practical effects as well as live action actors. So in this case, maybe these are models used for animatronics or stop motion, something like that. You know, we know that footage on the moon is usually kind of grainy and a little bit hard to see exactly what's going on. So I think it kind of plays into that narrative. So we have the whole scene kind of fake lit. We got the cameras up and we got kind of like a soundboard thing over here as well. There's some more details I want to add. I want to do some weapons and stuff, maybe kind of strewn all over the place. Chuck some seats in, maybe some monitors so that the crew can see exactly what the camera sees. And we do have some more space to utilize. We got this whole building to sort of kit out, and I did want to put another stage over here. We do already have some cameras kind of set up with some backdrops. I need to clear out the floor, and I have some more ideas of what we can chuck here, so stay tuned. And we're back, and this is our second set. So, if you do not recognize it, this is my take on the President's Oval Office. So in my scenario, the President of the United States has already kind of been tipped off that something bad is about to go down. We're talking about the bombs dropping. And they constructed this Oval Office, this fake Oval Office, so that a stand-in, an actor who looks like the president can make the necessary announcements, but the real president doesn't have to actually be exposed like this. And you can kind of see how I have created this. I've just put a desk in the middle there. I've put some walls up with the windows there. And then I've literally put a fake backdrop back here. So we have a couple of giant paintings. I just found ones that kind of looked like bushy and kind of grassy. And then I just basically put in fake plants and some pillars and stuff. So it kind of looks like from this angle that there is a garden out there. I don't know, you be the judge. And we have a kind of a teleprompter popped up here so that the actor can read off what they need to read off. And then we have multiple angles with the cameras set up. And then we just have somebody over here just, I guess, getting like a live feed from what the cameras can see. So overall, I think that's kind of a cool little bit of lore that kind of ties into the fakeness of our moon. And I haven't really touched anything around the rest of the Super Duper Mart here. We've got a bunch of rooms that we can utilize. We have this space over here as well. And we got this space here. And again, a cafe. And a bunch of sort of storage stuff and all that kind of stuff behind these walls. So I'm going to jump back into building and I'll show you what I can come up with. So we are at the front entrance here, and you can see we've got these sort of partitions up. Now the idea is that if somebody's coming in and out of the building, we don't want anyone on the outside to kind of see inside and see what's going on. So when they open the door, we obviously have some fences here, some sort of barriers, keep people back, and there will be kind of a security person there, I would imagine. But these partitions basically block the view, so if the door is open, you can't actually see what's going on if those doors are open. And we have a double layer, so you can't peek through the gaps. But let's move on through here. So if you go through these doors, this is where our Oval Office part is, and then over here is our kind of main entrance area. And when you first come in, we do have now a security kind of desk, kiosk. So this person has set up with some security cameras. They can see what's going on, and they do have some weapons if they need to take care of business. And things can get boring, so I just put a kind of chessboard up, and that is our security area for the entrance. And if we make our way over here, I've kind of left this area kind of as is. I just figured this cafe could actually be used by the staff members, whoever's doing the acting and the recording and all that sort of stuff. So I just thought I'd just kind of leave it as is, and that works quite well as kind of like a staff kitchen. Now over here, this is kind of a communications hub, so all the information leaving and coming in regarding this whole operation, it is kind of government backed, so it's kind of secretive, and maybe these are like CIA analysts or something kind of on site doing some kind of nefarious thing. So that's kind of this section. And then you can see through here, this is obviously a drugstore at one stage, but now it is not. If we come around the corner, hints there, it is basically a news desk. So, you know, if you're faking moon battles and you're faking Oval Offices and stuff like that, then fake news kind of fits into that bill as well. So we have kind of a news desk here going on. So it's all carefully curated to make sure that the American people in this scenario are getting a very specific view. And then if we spin around, we just have kind of like an engineer's space in here so they can see what's going on the cameras and adjust sound and stuff. Now if we come out of this room and go to the other side, I will just pop in here quickly. This area is going to be a prop storage room. So we do have a miniature set over there for our moon set, but also that whole area would be used as well for full-sized actors to sort of portray close-ups and all that sort of stuff. So these are just some costumes all ready to go. But yeah, plenty of work needed in this area. And while I'm here, this is kind of the back garage. So we have our garage door to the outside, and this is some kind of, think of it kind of like a government car. It's black, you know, and it's kind of been abandoned here when the bombs started dropping. If we make our way back to our Oval Office area, we also have a little sound stage over here. This is also prop power armor, so it's kind of like a little bit of storage here. Now this area is kind of like for radio, I guess. So we do have kind of like an interview space. So this is kind of like an area where the last two people were kind of talking about the end of the world. And that's why they're kind of getting drunk together, hence the bottles. So we've made plenty of progress on the interior. Obviously we still need to finish some things off, but then I also need to tackle the exterior because I've got kind of a story for that whole thing as well. We are back. You can see that I have added some lighting around the place. It was quite moody before, but it was kind of hard to see what was going on, so I decided to change that up and just put some lights in. So I've done a lot of work sort of putting in bits and bobs that you might need on a film set. Let's have a look at our props room. So we got plenty of stuff to use on set, just random bits and bobs and weapons and things. I just moved around some of the bits over here as well just to fill in the space a bit, and we got kind of model vehicles and things that you might need, and a vertibird over there as well. Okay, so if we come through here, not much has changed here, but we do have a isolation interrogation room. So if somebody wanders on into the building or somehow manages to get on site, then yeah, you can get arrested or whatever and taken away to this room. And unfortunately this poor fellow was left here when the bombs were dropped and couldn't get out, unfortunately. And if we make our way to the back through here, more bits and bobs. This room here is kind of like an operations room. So this area is where the last of the people working in the studio were kind of hanging out. Mostly government people. You can see there we got maps and things of the Commonwealth. We got this kind of industrial looking radio. Maybe it's kind of like a military radio to kind of hear what's going on. And then over here we have kind of people were hanging around the TV, and obviously they saw the moment when the news broadcast stopped, and that kind of indicated when the bombs dropped. And the head of this installation is over here. He's in his military fatigues, and unfortunately he's decided to well, you can see what happened. Okay, and in through here, not much has changed. Basically, this is all kind of vanilla. It was already there. It's just like a staff room, and we have a bathroom in the back there. I just sort of got rid of some of the debris. So through here is kind of where the power source is. I haven't done much here. It's kind of as is, but I did add an area where basically they had a fire barrel thing happening, and they were just like kind of burning documents and things like that. But obviously the bombs kind of interrupted what they were doing, and they didn't quite finish their work. Alrighty, so let's check out the rear garage and then the exterior. So we just come through this door here. Okay, so we're in the back garage now, and we just have a service vehicle here, but this is one of the darker aspects of our story, is the last of the production crew. The government was trying to hide evidence of the facility, so unfortunately the production staff met an untimely end. Let's open these doors, go outside, and see what's happening on the outside. And here we are at the exterior. You can see here that there's a lot of scaffolding, a lot of fences up and everything like that. And the idea is that during this production, we're talking near the end of the war, this Mart was either under construction or having renovations, and they kind of used that as a front to do nefarious things inside. So for an external observer, they might just assume that a large renovation was just happening over here at their favorite supermarket. Here we have the garage that has the government car parked inside. I just sort of put a little bit of stuff out here, and I had, because this truck, it is vanilla, has sort of toppled over, I kind of just put the fences underneath to make it look like it's sort of pushed everything over. And here's the other side. You can see here we have another government car, and in their haste has sort of caused a bit of a traffic accident and got caught up, and I assumed that they escaped on foot. So that'll do it for our Super Duper Mart hiding a secret government film studio. I hope you enjoyed that one. I had plenty of fun making this. Was it the right idea to make it a fake moon battle? Or would you like to see an actual attempt at the moon surface itself? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions on this or anything else, drop them there as well, and I'll try and answer them. And there is a link on the main channel page for our Discord, and I also have a Patreon. And with all that said, I hope to see you on the next video, and have a great day.